My name is Zein, and I'm from New Zealand. I've lived in London for the last 6 years, but I've been traveling around Colombia and just arrived in Guatemala a week ago, last weekend.
Okay. And so you have how many time to travel?
And from London, I've traveled to Costa Rica and Nicaragua before,
Okay.
and various parts around Europe and
Okay.
the top part of Africa.
And this is a kind of vacations holiday or a sabbatic year?
More sabbatic. Yeah.
Okay,
I stopped
nice.
working in July last year,
Okay.
so it's been a while, and I've been trying to mostly focus on learning Spanish during my
Okay.
time of not working. So
Okay. And what do you do in New Zealand?
in London, I was working in real estate and
Okay.
finance for 6 years, and yeah.
Yeah. I heard that it's a very hard career. Is that correct or
Uh,
not?
There can be there can be long hours, but more or less it's not as difficult as
Okay.
other professions.
Yeah,
no.
I think like any other one.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
some hard.
at the beginning it's hard, but when you-
Eventually, you learn
yeah,
the
exactly.
processes. And,
Yeah, it's like to be a Spanish teacher because the fact that you speak Spanish doesn't mean that you can teach the Spanish.
language,
Yeah,
no.
teach Spanish it's a
Not-
little different than just
yeah, you
speak
need to
Spanish
learn how to
because
do it.
you need to explain something that it's very hard to explain.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. And how's your experience here in Guatemala?
Great so far. It's been a week, but I've just been in San Pedro,
Mm-hmm.
and no, I've really enjoyed it so far. And most of the time is at the school during the mornings, and it's hard. Like you're tired
Yeah.
afterwards, but it's a village or a town more that's very it's very nice. The weather
Yeah.
obviously is like this nearly every day so far since
Mhm.
that I've been here. So
Yeah.
no, it's good.
Yeah, good. And so you started to learn Spanish here in Guatemala or you started before?
No, I tried to start maybe 5 years ago and
Mhm.
gave up because I was too busy with working. But
Mhm.
then this was part of my. I restarted in October.
Okay.
I did 2 schools in Spain.
Okay.
I've done a couple of schools in Colombia when I was there as well, and this is the first one I've been to in Guatemala.
Okay, nice. And what is the difference between the lessons in Spain than Colombia, for example?
In Spain, my classes were mostly in group classes, which was fine for around when you're starting out to learn the grammar
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. It's mostly because it's a lot more. It costs a
Yeah.
lot more in Madrid, for example, for private lessons. In Colombia, I did one group and then I switched over to start doing private lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But then coming here is the first time that I've done the homestay component as well. It's not offered it's hard to find in Colombia. But here it seems to be in Guatemala. It seems to be quite normal
Okay.
that people the homestay
Yeah.
component is part of the package, really.
Okay, is that what I'm gonna ask about your experience here in Guatemala learning Spanish? I know that in Colombia, for example, or Mexico or Spain, I've been there just to share our experience as
Teacher.
Spanish teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I know there you have a classroom like a normal classroom.
Normal classroom, yeah.
And with other students, but
Yeah.
how do you feel that is your progress here? I mean, in the methodology one-on-one, one student, one teacher.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I started the individual in Colombia maybe a month ago, and definitely from that, it does make a difference. And I think now that I've been doing it for a while, I need the one-on-one a lot more because it's catered to you, and it's the little things in your head that every time you're talking in Spanish, there's things that come to mind that you like
Mhm.
try to remember, and it's so much easier having a personal teacher
Yeah.
to guide you in the right direction. And I was
Yeah.
lucky to have my teacher this week, and I'm now at the stage where it's not really learning the grammar so much. It's expressions and words that I haven't heard of. But to do that, I was able to learn a lot about the culture and the way of life
Yeah.
in San Pedro and what it's like in Guatemala.
Yeah.
So,
And do you think that the environment, I mean, because how I said before, usually in Spain or
mhm.
Colombia or any other part, you have like a classic classroom. But
Yes.
here you are in the big garden near to the
Yeah,
lake.
no, it's
Do you
yeah.
think that this helps to improve your Spanish, or this is? How do you feel
I
about
think
this?
well, definitely, yeah. The environment is great. Like it's beyond the trees, you know. It's the lake, and definitely one of the draw cards to come here. I originally I met another traveler in Colombia who told me the experience that she had in the school in Guatemala. So originally my plan was not to come to Guatemala. I was going to
Okay.
stay Colombia, Peru,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided to come here
Yeah.
on that basis, and I would say yeah, it's definitely worth coming to Guatemala and San Pedro to escape from. You know, I haven't been to Antigua yet, but I imagine
Yeah.
it's a lot more touristy than here.
Exactly. It's like a big city.
A bigger
Yeah.
city, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your expectations before to come to San Pedro? What do you think that
Really,
is?
it was just based on a recommendation
Okay.
of this girl I met, and she said like, you know, it's a great school. I looked at the reviews on
Mm-hmm.
Google and so it was basically five stars,
5 stars. Yeah.
5 stars out of like 700 reviews,
Yeah.
more or less. So yeah, and I was lucky enough to get a spot with very short notice.
Mm-hmm.
And the director Ramon is super responsive, and
Mm-hmm.
basically I was boarding a flight from Colombia, and we organized that I was going to come here one day after landing in
Okay.
Guatemala. So, and the homestay family is amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
the whole experience has been
Nice. And how?
positive.
Yeah. How was your experience in Colombia? Which cities did you visit?
Mostly, I was in Medellin and the department Antioquia, but I
I know
also
I never been in
ah
Colombia, but people in Latin America think says that Colombia it's a place for party
Colombia.
like a rock star, you know?
Medellin is very different to what I thought it would be. So it's coming here is definitely it's a different change of pace, but it's great
Yeah.
nonetheless. So it's Medellin has a lot more. Sometimes it feels like you're just in. It depends where you are, but it's
Exactly.
you could be in a Western country as well. There's a lot more English spoken in Medellin, which for me is not a positive for
Exactly.
learning a
For
language,
learning a
learning
language, yeah.
Spanish. So.
And how do you feel that the people here? Because I think that, I know that a lot of people speaks English here, but maybe they know that a lot of people comes here to learn Spanish, or they don't speak
Not many.
English.
Yeah, no, I haven't come across many people speaking to me in English, but yeah, I guess it depends on where you are. But so far, like it's in the homestay family.
Mm-hmm.
Both the parents can speak English well enough to
Mm-hmm.
converse easily with the students that can't speak any Spanish to
Mm-hmm.
begin with. But most of the time they're just only speaking in
Yeah.
Spanish to us. So
So
it's
we can do this interview in Spanish. No,
possible.
yeah.
Más lento, sí.
Más lento, sí. I know. Okay, so great to know that. And I mean, in the activities or the things that you can do here, what did you do here? I mean,
So far, I've only really just done the one of the sightseeing views in the morning. It was like a hike from one of the Santa
hmm
Clara, which was amazing and definitely worth the early wake up. And also, yesterday. I helped out here with the children in the village.
hmm
They do English classes twice a week, and so I helped Ramon
yeah,
with that. So yeah.
and yeah,
And there's other things. Obviously, I just haven't got around to it. I've got a
yeah,
couple of days left, so I want to do some kayaking and maybe go off and visit
hmm
another village, a town.
Okay.
Town.
I saw you like 2 or 3 days ago. Don't remember. Teaching English, right?
That was
To the
yesterday.
project. Oh, yesterday.
Yesterday,
Yes,
yesterday,
yesterday.
yesterday.
To the. How do you feel in this experience teaching?
No, it's great. It's great to come to a school where the emphasis is on the community.
Mhm.
It's not just about the owner. The owner. It's and other schools I've been to. It's not necessarily
Mhm.
necessarily the person that runs the school is from the country.
Yeah.
It might be someone from the United States, and it's just a business. Whereas here, it's definitely more of a community feel, and you also it's very welcoming environment.
Yeah.
The children as well. It's great to see them trying to learn English and
Mhm.
to see it's offered for
Yeah.
them. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. San Pedro. It's a small village, but at the same time, there is a like. When people like you, for example, come to the countries like New Zealand, your first tongue it's English. So
yeah.
yeah, so it's great to to share
How
this
we
this
speak.
this knowledge to the
Yeah.
students, to the kids here,
No, of course.
and the village. And yeah, they enjoy it a lot to meet other students from other part of the world
World. Yeah.
and with different perspectives of life.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I gonna ask you before I have asked you before about your I forgot the question, sorry. Yeah, what is your main reason to learn Spanish?
I think it's a challenge, and obviously coming from New Zealand, you grow up and only need to speak English. It's just it's just a goal professionally and personally as well.
Okay.
I'd like to have the ability to
Okay.
converse, and I love South America, Spain. So
Yeah. And you use the language in at your job or not?
no, but it's possible in the sort
Okay.
of work that I do. It's
Because
possible
because
to.
in London there is not a lot of people that speak Spanish or yes.
Yeah, there is
Okay.
London's full of people from
Latinos?
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
Latinos.
I've been there and I saw like I don't know a lot of Latin
Yeah.
discotheques in London. Yeah, I
Uh,
was surprised because I don't expect that when I was there.
most people from London living in London are not from London.
Yeah.
It's from everywhere around the world. But also a lot of the companies in London are
Mhm.
Still headquarters for the countries in Europe. So if
Mhm.
your company has a presence in Spain,
Yeah.
it's possible that the head office is in London.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So, thank you very much for joining this interview. I'm so happy to have you here in Guatemala, and I hope that in the near future you can join again the school or just visit Guatemala.
Of course. No, thank you very much for having me. It's been great.
Okay. Just to finish, do you have some recommendation for people of New Zealand or London or England to come to Guatemala? Do you have some advice or recommendations for the people?
Right now, everything is you can read stuff on the internet where the places are dangerous and you shouldn't travel there right now. But so far, after 3-4 months 3 months in Colombia and now here, it's been great, and it's the best place to if you want to learn a language, you have to come learn it in the country. I mean, it's a lot of people here speak English perfectly, and
Mhm.
without living in an English-speaking country, but
Yeah.
which is impressive. But for me, I need to have come here to really improve.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to finish, can you say welcome to San Pedro Spanish School to the camera, please?
Welcome.
Sorry, 1, 2, and 3.
Welcome to San Pedro Spanish School.